Hello class. Today I'm doing my presentation on the solar system, and I'm basically going to give information about the galaxy. I did some research and I was just flabbergasted with the information that I found, and it was very interesting. And I said through the whole research, if anybody does not believe in God after researching or studying to any level about God's creation, His universe, then something's wrong. I mean, this is phenomenal. But anyway, a little bit about what I learned was that the definition for galaxy is a system of millions, or that is billions of stars together with gas and dust, held together by gravitational attraction. And I also found that many galaxies also continue to form new generations of stars. The Milky Way produces new stars at a rate of 1 or 2 stars per year. What is a Milky Way? Glad you asked. The Milky Way is the galaxy in which our solar system is located. It is the part of a local group of galaxies. This group consists of about 30 galaxies, and these galaxies are of the local, of course, the local stat of the Milky Way. And the Milky Way contains roughly about 20 billion stars itself. And that is awesome. As I stated earlier, anybody who studies any amount of this solar system that we live in, or rather that we exist in, or anything about this tremendous and awesome earth that we live in, if you don't come up with the knowledge that there's someone greater than us living, then something's wrong. There's someone above us that has caused all this to be, then something is wrong. Because how do you think that all of this stuff, as I studied it, is so massive? How does all of this remain in its position? How does it hold together? And as I studied, I thought about the sun. When we look up at it, it's right over us sometimes. But yet, through this information that astronomers and scientists have been able to record from their research and put in this computer and in books, tells us that the sun is so many millions of years, millions of miles away from us. But yet we can look up and see it as if it's right there at our reach, so to speak. And then one has to think about, how in the world does this big, massive ball of heat, that's what it looks like from where we are on Earth, right? How in the world does it remain in its position? And how does it work so timely to rise when it's supposed to and to set when it's supposed to? That's awesome. There's an awesome programmer out there, guys. That's how I see it, okay? So how old is the galaxy? Well, I wanted to get an answer to that question, but I wasn't quite able to get the answer that I wanted. But it did say that new studies have shown that astronomers have discovered that the universe, most ancient spiral galaxy, yet a cosmic structure that dates roughly back to about 10.7 billion years. They also found that the chemical elements that make up the Milky Way are formed in the interiors of the stars, but they don't know when it formed. So that question we'll have to save and ask the Creator when we see Him. How about that? Okay? How far is the sun from the earth? That was my next question. And it got more interesting. It says that the sun is about 26,000 light years from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. I was like, whoa. Well, remember, that's our system. Our solar system is in the Milky Way, right? So 26,000 light years from the center of the Milky Way galaxy is the distance between it and the sun. So my next question was, what is a light year? A light year is the distance that light can travel in 1 year 1 year now in a vacuum. Isn't that awesome? It takes the sun 200 to 250 million. I say it again. Yeah, I didn't say 250 cents worth, or what else kind of small amount can you place there without using millions? 200 is a lot to us anyway. If we put 200 in front of pennies, to us that's a lot. But when you're talking about putting 200 in front of the word millions, that's huge, okay? So the sun takes about 200 to 200 million years just to orbit around the Milky Way one time. That's enough to make you pass out right there. Am I right? Then it goes on to say that in this orbit that you and I live in, and the rest of the solar system, it moves at a velocity of about 155 miles per second. That's how long it takes for this to happen in our little terminology, in our mind. I mean, that's still awesome to me. 155 miles per second. That's how long it takes for, in the orbit rather, that it takes for the Earth to, the sun to go around the solar system. And that right there is just phenomenal. I do pray that the scientists are recording the right information, because right now all we have is the information that they have studied and they have put here in these books and in these systems. And I tell you, if it's not true, then just the fact that they had to put these numbers out there, because there was no other way to describe this awesome universe, is enough for me right there, because it shows that our God and our universe is so vast until they couldn't just pick any little small number. You're talking about millions. Millions to us is huge, okay? Billions to us is huge. So that tells you that this universe is awesome and uniquely made by a greater hand than these that we have, right? That's awesome. It goes on to say that the sun is also about 93 miles from the Earth, okay? It is so far away, this is what really blew my mind, that the light from the sun traveling at a speed of about 186,000 miles per second takes 8 minutes to reach us here on Earth. What do you have to say about that?
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, I'm sitting here going, okay. And it goes on to say, like all the other planets in our solar system, Earth does not travel around the sun in a perfect circle. It states that instead its orbit is elliptical, like a stretched circle, with the sun just off the center of the orbit. This means that the distance between the Earth and the sun changes during a year. At its closest, the sun is 91.4 million miles away from us. And at its farthest, the sun is 94.5 million miles away. Now, we just saw the sun today, my husband and I, on our way to dinner. We were getting ready to travel to the restaurant, and the sun was so bright. We were like, wow. We didn't know it was going to be so boisterous in our eyes, because we didn't bring our sunglasses. We were like, it's fall of the year and it's kind of cool. Let's wear our coats. Why do you need sunglasses? And I'm here to tell you, that sun beamed through that car glass and we couldn't hardly see. And I'm like, that's awesome. I told my husband, I said, it's beautiful, but it's blinding me. So when you look at things like that, you can't help but to know that there is a greater source of power out there. Man could not have done this. And you all may give me a click on this video, but when they talk about the Darwin's theory as the basis and use it as the fundamental basic for explaining creation and how it started, I kind of have a problem with that, because there's no way that a bang could have. I mean, God can still do anything, but Darwin does not, he does not, speak of God doing this. The bang was supposed to have done all of this. It's supposed to have caused all of these galaxies and planets to stay in their places and not only just form, but to know just what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And I just don't believe that the Big Bang gave these galaxies and all of this awesome creation its ability to obey and do what it's supposed to do, and to continue to do it for the time that it's done. And not one time have we noticed that the sun has refused to shine, or the moon has refused to give us light at night. And stars, they do fall, but the moon and the sun is a star as well, but they have a covenant evidently to shine for a particular time and not fall. And that's wonderful. How many of you think that's wonderful? Yeah. So should we not have the light from the sun in the daytime and the light from the moon and stars at night, it will be difficult for Earth. But just imagine how long it takes that light to get to us after it's been released from a star. It's powerful. Don't you think so?
Yes.
So we conclude tonight that there is an awesome power out there. For those of you who may have challenges believing that there is a God, I would say look closely to your universe, and in your universe, I guarantee you may start to thinking otherwise, okay? Okay. Anyway, this will conclude for right now my study, my presentation, not my study, because I'm going to continue to study this. This will conclude my presentation tonight on our galaxy, and it's just phenomenal. I do hope that this will stir you and encourage you to study a little bit more about our universe and how it works. Okay? Till next time, good night.